What's up, everyone? Hope everybody's doing well. I want to first of all say thank you for all of the feedback that you guys have been giving thus far. It's been overwhelming and positive. Thank you for taking all the pictures, making all the posts. All that stuff is very encouraging for me. So, guys, please keep that up as we progress over the next couple weeks. So, today's workout, which is Thursday, we're going to be doing a couple different jumping variations during the workout. So we're going to prep our lower legs first. We're going to do that with some calf style raises and what we'll call lower leg prep. So it's going to look like this. We're going to do 20 reps of each movement. Toes are going to be facing forward. If need be, you can grab onto something like a countertop or a chair for balance. But essentially what we're going to do is bring ourselves as high up onto our tiptoes as possible and then back down. We want a deep squeeze at the top and then back down. And this is really simple. Toes facing forward for this first set. Once I've done 20, now I'm going to go toes facing in. So the exact same thing, but now my toes are facing in towards one another. What we often do in class is we often do toe walks in this fashion. It's the exact same thing. All we're doing is raising up in place for 20 repetitions. Now we do the exact same thing for that final set of 20 with toes out for 20 repetitions. Okay? Notice I'm squeezing and holding the top for a split second before I move into that next repetition. We move into the dynamic movement portion of the warm-up. This is meant to be 20 seconds of each movement, okay, 3 times through. Notice there isn't a set rest period, right? The goal would be to rest about 10 to 15 seconds between. Give yourself enough time to where you feel like you can produce a little bit of explosiveness and high quality movement, but don't worry about keeping yourself to a set rest period consistently through this portion of the warm-up. So first we have high knee squeezes. What we're gonna do is bring the knee tight to the chest and simply squeeze, hey, tucking my chin down to my kneecap. 1, knee to chest, squeeze down 2, knee to chest, squeeze down 3 for 20 seconds. Then we have the power skip. Generally when we power skip, we're gonna be traveling for distance across the gym or outside. Here, all we're gonna do is power skip in place. So I'm gonna drive the opposite knee nice and hard. 1. I take a little step back, opposite leg 2, little step back, opposite leg 3. If jumping is not your thing, you can keep that leg planted on the ground and just drive the knee up, step back. Drive the knee up, step back. All right? Then we have finger drags. Just like with the power skips, we often travel through space. You're likely not going to be able to do that in the confines of your living room. So we're simply going to brush back and forth over the same ground the entire time. So this is going to look like this. I'm going to drag the fingers, lateral movement, drag the fingers, lateral movement. Okay? So all I'm doing is sweeping back and forth from pinky toe to pinky toe. So I'm dragging 1, dragging 2 over the course of that 20 seconds. Finally, you have frog hops. All right? You want to travel a little bit with this one, but it's likely going to be, the 10 to 15 feet in your living room and the 10 to 15 feet back. So my frog hops, similar to a duck walk where I'm down and instead of me walking, now I'm frog hopping. We understand this isn't right for everybody at that super low depth, especially for a warm-up. So what we want to do instead is go at a depth that you feel comfortable with. So maybe that's right here, maybe that's right here, but we're gonna hop lightly for that duration. If that frog hopping is just not right for your body, feel free to air squat for a substitution instead. After 3 rounds, it's important that you're sweaty and you're prepared for that next portion of the warm-up. If you're not sweaty quite yet, you aren't warm, go ahead and pursue a 4th round. Our strength and skill for today, we have an on-the-minute piece, which will equate to you doing 30 seconds of work and 30 seconds of rest. We'll go 4 times through the 3 movements that are listed. All right, we have a little bit of a different style plank. Okay? Our goal is to have a kind of a grip stimulus here. So we're gonna go 30 seconds in a fingertip-based plank. All right, so a fingertip-based plank, if I take my normal push-up position where my hands are flat, all I'm gonna do is elevate myself onto my fingertips. So only my fingertips are making contact with the ground, and I'm holding this for 30 seconds, all right? What we do want to practice here is working some fingertip-based strength. So if you're not able to hold an extended position, we want to modify this by going down to the knees and working from there, all right? So I'm doing a knee-based, now fingertip style plank. You could also elevate your surface just like you would if you were scaling a push-up onto your chair or a couch and hold your plank on your fingertips that way. A 30-second wall sit hold, all right? We want you to be able to hold for 30 seconds unbroken. To accomplish that, we need to play with your depth just a little bit. The deeper you get, the more difficult this becomes, all right? So imagine the wall back behind my back. So an easier wall sit would be here, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder. Sitting just below parallel with my back pressed up against the wall is where we want you to be, all right? Think just below parallel, not quite so deep that you're sitting at rock bottom of your squat, but just right below parallel where the hip crease is just below the knee. Easier, 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 and so on, all right? Next, after the wall sit hold, we have a 30-second high tension Superman. So we take this Superman hold. All we're doing is emphasizing the tension in our center, meaning squeezing your belly, tightening your butt, squeezing your quads. A reminder of what that Superman position looks like. So I'm going to be elevating my quads off the ground, lifting my hands out in front of me if possible. I can be here if needed. I'm doing my best to concentrate on the tension of that position consistently, all right? The workout for the day, after you've worked through your 4 rounds of the strength-based static holds, we're going to do 5 rounds for time. So this would be a task completion workout. We're going to be starting with 80 lateral hops over a broomstick. It doesn't have to necessarily be a broomstick. You just want a small object to hop over. So when we say 80 lateral hops, what we're referring to is a small object here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scaling with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? The second movement is 40 Russian twists. As written here, we're not using any equipment. Right? All we're doing is making a fist and then tapping on both sides. So I'm gonna be in a seated position. I'm gonna drive my abs down, rib cage down and tight, and I'm gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until I reach my 40. At last, we have 20 skater slides. Don't confuse this with the lateral hops. It's a very different movement. The skater style slides, your goal is to be down in an athletic position. So I'm gonna be establishing softly bent knees, upright torso, and then I'm gonna travel laterally with some oomph. So I'm gonna travel lateral, travel lateral, travel lateral. Notice when I land, I really get down low, and I put tension on my muscles here in my legs, okay? So traveling laterally, 1, travel lateral, 2. Really press off that outside leg. Let's see how much distance you can get for each repetition, all right? What we want here is the ability to keep moving, controlling your breathing, and you're committing to minimal rest, all right? With these body weight based workouts and the movements that we've chosen for today, we want the ability to keep moving. So feel free to break this down to a 60, 30, and 15, okay? Or even 40, 20, 10 if needed, if you're feeling like the chunks of the movements are a little bit too big, all right? If you guys have questions or feedback on this workout, love to hear it. Okay, we're here to answer all your questions. Don't forget your post-workout yoga style flow. Hope you guys enjoy. See you later.